Welcome, everyone, to the DSaF Fanz YouTube channel. I am the narrator. DSaF Fanz is a Discord server based on the Five Nights at Freddy's fan game, DSaF. If you have never heard of that fan game before, then this might not be for you, and if you want to check it out, then this is probably not the best place to start off. In this video, I will explain what this channel is all about. So starting off, the Discord server, as I mentioned, is one of the main focuses is role-playing, which is what this YouTube channel will be about. It will be about reading these roleplays, though they have been written as a story. And since I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with role-playing, well, it's usually not just one person, so these roleplays tend to get very wild. And because of that, I want you to keep it in mind. This is not just one person being crazy, and it's not, don't cancel me please because of something someone said. But anyways, this server has been up for around 3 years, but there was a server before that, but it's a long story. So there's quite a year difference, and so the memes in these first videos, or most probably, are gonna be very outdated. About the members, some of them will be reoccurring, very reoccurring, like every single one, at least for a while, and then they can just like stop. That's because, well, usually it's because the member gets booted, and I will not talk about why. Probably, I don't know, we'll see. And others are just one-timers. Maybe they just didn't like role-playing. There's an incredible amount of inconsistencies in these roleplays, time paradoxes, like things that don't make sense. In one roleplay, there's this guy who learns the importance of and magic of friendship, and then in the next he'll be nothing like that ever happened. And sometimes it's like, oh, it's the year 1958, and then next day it's 2050. So keep that in mind as well. Anyways, in these videos there will be images in the background playing while I talk. These images will probably be drawn by our amazing artist who goes by Dave, and I don't know, maybe he's gonna make an appearance somewhere. And no, not like this isn't some, oh, it's Dave, the real one. No, it's just called Dave. Not from DSaF, he's just a guy. But that's the important stuff. Now, I will give you an example of what the story things are all about, so you can see if you like them or not. And that's it for the intro. Now, into the story. Thanks. It was a dark and gloomy night. There was a sense of dejection in the air. The seemingly only light present was the unwelcoming and flickering neon sign at the entrance of the run-down establishment. This is it. A voice could be heard. The voice of an exhausted man. The voice of a man who had been through quite the ordeal. Our new establishment, he continued. The man this voice belonged to was quite peculiar. He had some very odd features. One very obvious would be the thing on his shoulders. Presumably, there'd be a head. But no, this man instead had a green rotary phone. The phone had an odd purple marking on it, vaguely reminiscent of an eye, though more in a demonic rune type of way. The handset seemed to be very damaged. A bandage covered the area of where your hand would go, with a small cracked hole where it appeared a chunk had been taken out, peeking out from under it. The end, of which you would speak into, had been seemingly broken off and replaced with well-together metal plating. Equally as astounding were the hands. They also appeared to be plated in metal, or perhaps were metal. As for clothing, he was wearing dark gray shoes and pants along with a white dress shirt covered up by a grey buttoned-up vest and a green bandana tied around his neck. The man stood there, scanning the front of the building, noting all the different holes and cracks in the walls and windows. As he stood there, another man appeared from behind and walked up next to him, also examining the details of the rundown building. It was another phone person. "Well, this seems better than the last place," he stated, though sounding more like an attempt to reassure himself than a question. Unlike the other phone person, this one's phone had no signs of damage or any demonic scribbling on it. The telephone was a kind of light-hot pink color, and the dial was a lighter shade. He was wearing brown shoes and blue jeans with a brown belt, a black sweatshirt, and a white dress shirt with a red tie under. Nothing odd about this one, it would seem, other than the telephone, of course. And just when you thought you'd already seen as many of these strange phone-headed folk you would ever see in your lifetime, another walked up to the two, standing on the other side of the original green one. This one had another colored phone. It was cyan with a light blue dial. Both ends of the handset were also light blue. "Wow," he began, not sounding to be in awe, rather in disappointment. "Looks like shit." I wasn't wrong. The place had for sure seen better days. This new phone was wearing a similar outfit as the others. It seemed to be a recurring theme with these phones that they had to be dressed formally. He was wearing black shoes and dress pants with a black belt, a white dress shirt with a purple buttoned vest and bow tie. The buttons on the vest were gold. "This is the best place we could get," the pink one added. "It looks bad for now, but we can fix this place up," the green one said excitedly. It seemed like the green one and pink ones were far more excited about this than the cyan one. "I asked Thompson for the showbiz animatronics back," he continued. "Really? You asked Satan himself?" the cyan one said, clearly not wanting anything to do with Thompson or anything he had to bring. Whoever this Thompson figure was, the cyan one did not like him. "You gotta make deals with the devil to get a Fassbenders. I guess that's understandable," the cyan one agreed reluctantly. As the two of them were talking, large groups of people could be seen entering the building, some with tools in hand, others looking very exhausted. Two other phone people could be seen wheeling in boxes. One of them smoked a cigar. They weren't the only ones, however. Half a dozen more phones were seen entering the building, joined by large groups of people who weren't phones. No one seemed to be questioning the odd men walking beside them. They seemed more focused on fixing the place up. Perhaps this was normal for them. "I suppose it's time for us to enter as well then," said the cyan one. The three of them then entered the establishment. The inside was exactly what you would expect from this building. The roof looked just about ready to cave in, yet there were people seen hanging from the roof in an attempt to fix it. The walls on the inside looked worse than on the outside. They were covered in mold, cracks, holes, and plants that had grown through. The green one was seen removing mold from the walls. "Good God," the cyan one stated in disbelief. "How are we ever gonna fix this place?" he thought to himself. The pink one was seen resting with the others on a pile of bricks and rebar. The cyan one soon joined him and the others. The person was standing by the entrance, looking around the large room. This person had a very odd appearance as well, but not like the others. If you thought having a phone for a head was weird enough, this one had a security camera's head. Like the others, he was wearing a full black suit, red tie, was carrying a briefcase. He sat down and put it beside him. He thought back at what had happened before their journey to this building. They weren't very pleasant memories. It was a massacre, he said to himself. So many monkeys. Going back to our familiar green phone, he had just finished removing all the moss. He had also filled all the holes. He now moved on to replacing all the light bulbs. As he started this activity, someone without a phone for a head walked up to him. He was wearing a security guard outfit, so he seemed to be working there, or whatever the last place was. The suit consisted of black shoes and pants with a black belt, a purple button-up shirt with a golden security badge. On the badge was the name, J. "Hi, Nine. Want me to do anything?" Nine seemed to be the name, or nickname, for the green phone person. This new person didn't seem to be exhausted at all, more filled with energy and excited to get to work. The truth is, however, it doesn't like working there. It just hides it really well. Still fixing the light bulbs, Nine responds. "You gotta get a new layer of paint on these walls." Nine pointed over to the wall he had moments ago repaired. He then pointed to a row of paint buckets to place in a box with a paintbrush sitting next to them. "Alrighty, boss. I'll get right to it." Jay almost ran over to complete his new assignment. He picked up the paintbrush and stared at the many different colors at his disposal. Nine hadn't told him what color the walls should be, so he felt free to paint whatever his heart desired. Looking at the paint for a bit, the pink one caught his eye. He imagined the wall painted in a bright pink. "Might as well get some LGBTQ representation in here, am I right?" he thought to himself. "Okay, why not paint a rainbow on the wall at this point, lol." So that's what he decided to do. He grabbed all the colors of the rainbow and got right to work. "Yep, LGBTQ as fuck," he said to himself. Nine had just finished fixing the light bulbs when he decided to check in on how Jay was getting along with the paint. He imagined what the walls looked like in the last location. Much to his dismay, however, when he finally arrived, the wall was completely covered in what could be closely represented by unicorn puke. Nine stood there silently. "I painted the wall, boss," Jay said excitedly. After a while of awkward silence and staring, Nine finally decided to speak. "This is a Fassbender's. We have a specific pattern that the walls are supposed to be painted in." Jay looked a little confused. He always thought the old walls were so boring and bland. This was a way nicer and colorful pattern, he thought. LGBTQ being represented here will boost PR ratings for the restaurant. "Don't worry, boss. Karens and anti-LGBTQ are the minority." Jay grinned at Nine, happy about his accomplishment. Of course, though, he didn't actually enjoy it. He only made it seem that way so he couldn't be called lazy. Nine sighed. "Very well," he said. "But this is not up to Fassbender code." Well, that does it for the video. Thank you guys for sticking around the whole thing, and I hope you enjoyed. Oh, also, before you go, I wanted to talk about a few things that I forgot to mention. First of all, I'm sorry about the pink one, sign one thing. I didn't want to mention the names until they were mentioned in the story. Though I realized pretty late that they weren't mentioned at all in the story, so they just go unnamed now. So, the pink one is called 10, the sign one is 3.5. I don't think there were any other characters I didn't name. So yeah. Oh, also, sorry about the mic quality. I'll try getting a better one sometime in the future. Remember, this is the first video, so not everything's gonna be perfect. The stories are hopefully gonna get better as well. I mean, the stories are gonna be what has been roleplayed. I can't change that, but I can narrate better, I guess. But yeah, that's everything. Thanks for sticking around. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Yeah, thanks. See you next video, I guess, whenever that is.